Hello and welcome back to my channel, Self-Love Synergy. Tonight we're going to be talking about relationships a little bit. We're going to be talking about that betrayal, and how to get beyond it. If you checked out my first video, then you are caught up with the understanding that I had 3 betrayals in my life. Yeah. And the last one happened just recently, and I'm still a work in progress getting through it. And what I've learned was what I learned through my spiritual awakening. And in the first video, I spoke about having a spiritual awakening. And I learned a lot of lessons in that spiritual awakening. One that I pointed out in the previous video was self-love synergy and how important it is to have self-love synergy. I'm not sure if I really went into explaining it more, but what I mean by that is in actuality, we have 4 bodies. We don't just have one. We have one physical body, but in order for that physical body to work, we have to have 3 other bodies, non-physical, which is the mental body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. And I'm sure that I don't have to convince you of those bodies. I mean, even though you can't see thoughts, we all know that we can think. And even though we can't see feelings, we all know that we can feel. As far as spirituality is concerned, not all of us are spiritual or think we're spiritual, because spirituality is hard to explain. But my way of explaining it really is either you believe there's a higher power working for you in life, no matter what you go through. It's always going to be a learning experience to get you to a greater good or a higher version of yourself. It's there to help you grow. Or you don't believe that there's a higher force. You don't believe there's anything. You just believe that we magically appeared on this earth and magically had life, and yeah, there's nothing magical about it, and when we die, we just die. That's me putting it in a nutshell, but you know what I mean. There's some people who believe that there's something beyond life, and then there's other people who just don't. And you know what, I'm not gonna judge either or, because whatever it is that has to be believed in, we can't see, feel, or touch in the physical realm, so we think. And so that's why it's very easy to think that there could be nothing. And that's interesting too, because anyway, I'll get into that another time, because I don't think that there is any such thing as nothing, really. What we think is nothing is really everything. It's kind of weird how things are. It's not weird, it's fun. It's fun when you really, come to the understanding, because you can really enjoy life. You don't have to take it so seriously. You can really have fun with it. But anyway, let me not get off topic. Let's get back to relationships and betrayal. Yeah, I had 3 of them. 3 strikes and you're out. But not me. 3 strikes and it's time for me to get back up again and say, hey, wait a minute, maybe I'm not playing this game right or something, because I don't like striking out. And sure enough, I wasn't playing the game correctly. Because I came to learn through these heartbreaks that relationships require maturity. It really does, because you have to have the ability to let go of people who don't, help you, inspire you to grow, who don't support you in your 4 bodies: your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, and your physical. And that's the thing. People don't think that we have 4 bodies. So they're just thinking the physical, and they just have to please us in the physical realm, 3D realm, with materialistic things, and I don't know, just the physical, sexual too, But again, there's 4 bodies we're dealing with. So just pleasing, sexually and physically, that's not enough. It really isn't. You have to live in love with your partner in your emotional body, in your physical body, in your spiritual body, and in your mental body. And by living in love, I mean you're living one vibrational energy. LOVE, living one vibrational energy. That's what's going on in this world. And once you really get that in your relationships, in your life, in your work environment, and everywhere, then you're going to start conquering life. You're going to, the game begins, because that's what we have to understand. Love is one vibrational energy. So the name of the game for healthy relationships is to go with the flow. Have a flow within your relationship where the two of you flow together. There's no bickering. There's no arguing. If there is, then, it's done in a kind manner. It's done in a manner where two people can communicate in a proper manner so that they grow and they learn and they evolve from two different points of view, so that you can still be living that one vibrational energy in harmony with your spouse or your partner. Yeah, that's a ticket. I didn't know none of that. I have never had a relationship where I did that. So the next relationship is going to be my my little guinea pig. Well, actually, I have relationships with my children like that, and my parents, and so I do have relationships like that, and it does work. It works very well when you start to live in harmony with others in that one vibrational energy. That one vibrational energy that creates growth and creates joy and happiness within everyone. So I wasn't living it, because I had, in my old relationships, or my past relationships, I was immature. I had no idea about being in a relationship. I just know that I wanted love, because I wasn't loving myself, and I felt like I had a yearning of love. And I also felt that I had to validate myself through a man, because I figured that I could always attract men to me, but I couldn't maintain them. I couldn't keep that relationship because of my little problem of having temper tantrums and, yelling and screaming, not knowing how to communicate properly. And so I'd lose a man. Some of them, I did have little relationships where I broke up with them and everything, and it didn't get too deep or serious. Maybe because I didn't want them to see the true me. I don't know. But, so I didn't live in love, but I would tell them, oh, I love you, I love you, I love, and that's another thing. We gotta really think about that phrase, I love you. I don't think that it's something that we should say. You have to actually love another person. You have to actually do it. You have to live on vibrational energy in harmony with your partner's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual selves. That is loving another person. And if you're not doing that, then you're not loving them. You can say it, but you're not doing it. So why even say it? Why even say it until you are able to understand how to do it? And you have to learn how to do that within yourself. So that's one of the major lessons that I learned from relationships. You have to love yourself. You have to live on vibrational energy within your four bodies, within yourself, and understand how to do that before you can actually love another person. Like for real. And maybe that's what's going on in the world, why we're having so many breakups and people and arguments and not getting along and divorces, because we're not understanding that we actually do have to love somebody through our energetic, our self, our subtle energy life force. I know I'm getting a little but I'm for real. We're working with energy here. We really are. And we have to wake up to it. And we ought to wake up to it so that we can fix a lot of things that's broke in this world. So yeah, at any rate, so the betrayal thing. Most important lesson I learned is if a person wants to walk out of your life, let them. Let them. Because that's love. That's not, if you're not fighting them, if that's something that they want to do, that they feel that they're going to find joy and happiness with, and you're fighting them and telling them, no, come back to me, I'm sorry, I'll change, and you're going against it. You're going against the friction, that energy. You have to flow with it. So you have to let it go. That's the best way to love a person, when they're trying to let you go, walk away from you. And trust me, over time, you know, there's some power in letting go. Oh yeah, great power in it. It seems as though when you want something, you let it go and it'll come back to you. It really will. It really will. But again, that's something else. That's with the breakup and everything. We'll get into that in another video. In this video, we're just talking about relationships and betrayal, and what I am doing right now at the current moment to move beyond it. And the first lesson is letting go. Have to let go of him. And that's that. And in order to do that, though, you have to conquer your ego. Because really, it's your ego that's wanting that person to stay up, a person who doesn't want you anymore to stay. Your ego is like, oh no, you ain't walking away from me. You know? So, no. We gotta do this again. We gotta backtrack. We gotta talk about this. But no. Allow the person to leave. Show love, give love, and don't worry about it. You know, if you do want that person back, you really do, then there are things that you can do, you know, in the manifestation world. It's called manifesting your special person back. Yeah, and that has to do with a gentleman named Neville Goddard and his teachings. And we'll get into that too in another video. But I don't want to go on all night long, you know. I just want to give you a little flavor of, you know, conversations with me and how they'll go. So yeah, let them go. And then it's time for you to do that self-love synergy, to synergize your 4 spiritual bodies, your 3 spiritual bodies, and your 3 non-physical bodies into your 1 physical body, so that you could be ready for love the next time. Because once you understand how to do that, you are becoming so empowered with love for your own self. You discover your worth again. You discover that you are valuable, and you begin to understand that if somebody wants to walk away from you, that's their loss, not yours, you know. And you just keep vibing high, higher and higher. They'll come back. They'll come back. They'll spin that block. As soon as they see joy in you, happiness in you, like a new attitude. Oh yeah. Because you're no longer that person who they walked away from. That's the ticket. Somebody wants to break up with you, let them break up with that person, and you break up with that person too. You know? It's the incredible thing with life. You can transform yourself into becoming whoever you want, whenever you want, within your own realities, parallel, you know, realities of who you are. You can become, you know, I could be, look at me, I decided to be a YouTuber. Just decided. Turned on my camera here, started talking into it, opened up a YouTube channel, started posting. Hey, I'm a YouTube content creator now. Yesterday I was just, you know, unemployed. Or, you know, a couple of days ago I was just unemployed, wondering if I'll ever work again. And then today, I'm a working woman. I employed myself. It's the beauty of life. You can do it. You can do it. Who's going to tell you you can't? You know? Nobody other than you. And that's the thing too, is the biggest enemy usually is our own self. Life could really be a game of you versus you. Your ego versus your ally. And by ego, Wayne Dyer put it, if anybody's familiar with a gentleman named Wayne Dyer, he passed away a while ago. However, he was a very good spiritual, motivational, inspirational human being who taught on a lot of things. And he would refer to the ego as edging God out. And I like that. You know, I also decided that, you know what, there's also an ally, A-L-I, allowing love in. Yeah. And we got the two within ourselves. Life is something. It's really complicated. Two consciousness within one. The ego and the ally. The edging God out. The edging out of you being a powerful person and the universe working on your side to give you what you desire. Edging all of that out. That's the ego, you know. And then the ally that allows love in. It does allow for you to understand your power through love, living one vibrational energy within yourself and your environment and with others, you know, and how powerful you can become with that. But it does require things like detaching, being silent. You know, those are power within the ally, within the ego. You're attached. You're addicted. You need it. You're loud. You're boisterous. Sometimes you're not. You're just you're only thinking about yourself. You're selfish. You're self-absorbed. You're narcissistic. You know, and we can go either way. You know, I think the worst thing that we did was title people certain things and said, you know, you're bad. I'm good. Well, maybe today he's bad and I'm good, but tomorrow I may be bad and he may be good. Depends on how we feel. Depends on what we decide to do. We're ever changing, you know. To label us is futile. It's silly because we can change at any moment, you know. So stop with the labels, or, you know, yeah, just stop with them. Don't believe them. You know, it's only within that moment of time, and whoever is doing the labeling, it's their opinion. You know, it's not. Don't do that. Don't follow other people's opinions. You know, check it out for yourself. But at any rate, I'm not going to get into that. Back to the betrayal. Allowing the person to leave, letting go, synergizing yourself, becoming a better version of yourself, and creating a purpose in your life. So you don't got to focus on that breakup anymore. You can focus on what you got to do, you know, to make your life better. And you can even dream of a new relationship. If you don't want the old one and you really do want him or her to leave out that door, you can start to, you know, manifest something new through affirmations and the belief and the feeling and the making space for that to come into your life. Yeah, breakups can be beautiful because you're going into singlehood, and there's nothing wrong with singlehood, because singlehood, you get to be in a relationship with the I am that I am. Yeah. And the self, the subtle energy life force, that is you. And that is creating all the life force energy all around us. So it is you and the one, the I am that I am, having a relationship with the I am that I am. You're probably thinking I'm silly, but I'm for real. And that means you have a relationship with your food, with your thoughts, with your emotions, with your finances, with, you know, with your imagination, with your intention, with these personal, subtle energy life forces that are within you. Yeah. Start to have relationships, so that you can start to understand the physical self and why he or she does what he or she does. And you can start to change certain things if you want to change them for the better, to get better outcomes. Yeah, it's a little game you can play, and you can have fun because, you know, you don't got to broadcast it to anyone. You could just say, you know, today, you know, that person who doesn't like talking to me at work or something, always snarling at me, let me throw her a smile or throw him a smile and say good morning to him. And see what happens. I bet you 10 to 1, something good will happen. Definitely nothing bad. And then you just keep doing that. You know, keep doing it. You know, like when you got to pay a bill, instead of saying, oh, darn it, I got to pay a bill, you say, you know what? I am so thankful that I can pay this bill. And, you know, whatever money I put out there to pay that bill, 10 times more is coming back to me. Yeah, say it. Believe it. Strut. Like, it is. That's the truth. And you know what? It's going to become reality. Seriously. That's the power that we have that has been trying to be suppressed from humanity for a long, long time. And you know what? I understand why. Because imagine that. 7 to 8 billion people walking the earth, able to intend and, you know, create whatever they want, whatever they desire. Oh my gosh. Wow. It could be a very awesome thing, you know, where we can create a world that is just out of this world, unimaginable. Like new things will be popping up. I bet you we'll even have new colors. New colors. Shoot, new sounds, new, everything. Like brand new, like something you ain't never seen before. Just new creations, you know. Or it can go real bad. You know, if people want to use that against the people who aren't using their power, you know, through intention. Other people can intend on behalf of other people and have things happen for other people, good and bad. So yeah, maybe there was a humanity before us, a generation before us who used that power in a corrupted way. And maybe humanity had to be taught a lesson and had to go to sleep and had to just calm down from, you know, this power and understand spirituality in a much better way. Understand that there is a higher force working for our greater good. So it's best that we align with it. Okay, before we start doing anything we want. You know, because once we align with that force, that life force, that one vibrational energy, then we will go with its flow. And its flow is to expand and grow and prosper, you know, and love more and multiply, you know. And so, yeah, when you're in that energy, you can do whatever you want because whatever you want is good. It's good because it's going with that flow. Anyway, but I don't know, you know, that's just my understanding. That's just what I think, you know, but I also know that future generations are going to know a whole lot more. And so I could be wrong, you know, because sometimes things have to come to an end in order for a new beginning. And that is part of that flow too, that recycling, you know, where seasons change, you know, how it goes to spring and summer, and autumn, then winter, and it, you know, how the leaves all are reborn in the springtime, and by winter time, the trees, the leaves are all gone. Like it looks like the death, you know, in a sense. And so an ending of a cycle. But then, you know, don't worry about a new one begins. So, yeah, you know, things can be sad if people really are attached to things and they don't ever want things to change. Things gotta change, you know. So it's not always joyful. It's not always, you know, pleasant and a great big party, you know. This is real life. real life changes happen, and we have to understand and be able to go with the flow of change. And then once we're able to do that, though, yeah, let the party begin. Life gets really, really fun. It really does. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, the betrayal, understanding to let go, understanding that you have to synergize yourself with a whole bunch of self-love, get a new version of yourself, create it, get some purpose going on in your life. If you want that person back, then you can do manifestation techniques in order to do that, which is to, start to affirm to yourself a new vision of a relationship. You have to let go of the old relationship. The old relationship has to die. You can never get that back, but you can build a new relationship. Like suppose you had a breakup because your man liked cheating, always cheated. Well, you'd have affirmations, whereas, you would say, oh, I'm so excited that my man has come back to me and he doesn't want to cheat anymore. I am the only one that he loves. I'm the only one he's ever loved, and no other woman compares to me. He's realized that. And, you say another story, and you believe it. And you believe it, and you say it, and you believe it, and you make room for that man to come back. And one day, ding dong, knock knock. Hey babe, missed you. You did. I missed you too. He'll come back. It's gonna happen. So you don't got to worry about breakups. Let them happen. But you may, when you do get into your own self again, and you get your power back, and you start to love yourself, and you start to beautify yourself, and you start to raise up your vibration, and you start to have a little skip in your step, and you got a smile on your face, and you start to meet new people, and you meet new men and new women, and exciting people that are more on your level. You may not want that old one back, that past one back. Maybe it's good for him to stay in the past, and you can walk off in the sunset and live happily ever after with somebody else, long as it's divine masculine or divine feminine. If you're looking for a female, everything works out for your greater good. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say today, that we indeed can move beyond betrayal. And I wanted to, introduce the idea of having 4 bodies: an emotional body, a mental body, a physical body, and a spiritual body. Yeah. So, and that is the key. That is the key to getting over a breakup and passing, suppose a breakup is a test. Well, if you get those 4 bodies all synergized together in love, living one vibrational energy with the spiritual understanding, or, if you're in alignment with your spiritual body, then you have the attitude or the understanding, the knowing that everything's going to work out for you no matter what you go through. You just have to, look for that silver lining. Hang on to that, baby. That's hope. and just keep on going through that hope. You'll get over it. You'll grow through it, and you'll come back a better person on the other side. You'll have more abundance, well-being, and prosperity from going through it. So yeah, very important. It's important for breakups, and it's important for every other aspect of your life. But tonight, I just want to talk about it for breakups, okay? Yeah, so that's my video for tonight. I I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but it's probably going to, piggyback on from here, because this spiritual awakening, it touches everything. It really does. It is so important that we understand this. Humanity is a new world order is definitely coming into play, but it's not coming from the elites. It's going to come from the roots, from the ground up, from we the people, once we truly understand this, because it's going to transform everything. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you come back now. You hear? And if you got any pointers on betrayal, then, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to read more about it. I'm sure that we could talk about betrayal even, later on. But right now, I'm just going with the flow of what I feel. And that's what I felt like speaking on tonight. Okay? So you have a good night, and I'm gonna have one too.